Gopher football fans, we are here to talk through some therapy after that Cal loss, and we are also going to dive into some listener questions, including people's thoughts on PJ Fleck and will he stay. And then we're going to get into a little bit of where do the Gophers sit in the Big Ten according to Kane and Tristyn. We're going to have some fun with this one. It is bye week for your Golden Gophers, and it's time to have some fun. What up, y'all? You are listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We are talking Gophers football at least once a week. We've kind of been on a 2-a-week grind because we've been doing the live shows as well. But this week, it will be once this week. No game for us on the Golden Gophers. But if you enjoy Gophers football, be sure to hit subscribe over on YouTube. Follow wherever you get the podcast. It could be Spotify, Apple Pods, iHeartRadio app, you name it. You can find us at the Gopher Broke podcast. Tristyn, as we do every week, I need to know your gripe of the week.
I have a couple. So, first things first.
It's been one of them weeks.
Yeah, well, no, they're not too bad. The 2 bye weeks. I don't know if I will ever get used to 2 weeks. These are the weirdest. Like, did Notre Dame have one last week too already? Or not Notre Dame. Somebody had one last week already. There's like.
Yeah, there were a couple of schools that had them last week.
A week 2 bye week is absolutely nuts. With that being said, wow, didn't we get a great time to get a bye week? This was perfect time for us to get a bye week. Coming off a loss, going into Big Ten play, really need to get healthy.
To get healthy.
Yep. This is a great time. But other than that, I'm so sick of the weird bye weeks. My other one, 2 things. My kids came home with a book order this week. Do you remember specifically never being able to get anything on the book order? My mom was not getting me nothing on the book order, ever.
It was very rare. It was very rare. I feel like it was maybe like once every 3 years, and it was like you had to like plead. You had to beg, plead. You had to do all the chores that week, like way early. Like you had to be on your P's and Q's.
I was never getting a book order. I got a book order home today. Have you seen some of the prices in these book orders? It is $3 for a book. No, it's cheap, dog. There was no reason we shouldn't have been getting these books, especially if this is after inflation. If we're getting 10 years of inflation out of these $3 books, I have issues with my mom. If you're listening, we have problems. Now, granted, I was always trying to get the book that had the toys attached to it. It was more I wanted the toys. But still, I was blown away. I was like, we about to get some of these books.
See, I haven't experienced that part yet. We got the 1.5-year-old, so he's not quite there. But they had a book fair at the daycare, and my wife said the opposite on that front. The books at the daycare were like dumb expensive. They were like, oh yeah, it's like $12 for like a cardboard like flip page book that's got like 10 pages. And I'm like, whoa, no, that's like $1 a page. We ain't doing that.
Can't even read.
So I'm hoping as we get to the real book order times that we will experience what you are with the $3. Go ahead and get you 3 books. Let's do it.
It's very doable. I just don't understand.
Hey, I'm here for it. I enjoy it. So that was the gripe, was that it was cheaper and you just wish you would have had more books when you were younger?
I was just a little salty. I was like, my mom treated me like we were spending $80 on a book, and it wasn't. It couldn't have been the case.
I feel you. I love it. Okay, so let's get into this Big Ten talk. Let's get into your Gopher football talk. Look, it was a rough week, okay? Because all of us expected the Gophers to win that game. And you know what? There were chances, and they fumbled the bag. It was a tough one, and it looks way worse on the scoreboard than it did in the actual game itself, kind of. I mean, it hurt worse probably watching the game, but, like, it wasn't a 3-score game like it looked the scoreboard will tell you. So overall, how are you feeling? How have you come down since then, or what are the emotions that are flowing through Tristyn Spann-Ford thinking back to the Cal Gophers game?
I think thinking back, I've kind of already, because it's so early in the year, I've just reverted right to cope. Like it's just ample amounts of copiism. I am thinking, what if JKS?
Yep.
What if he's a Heisman
Just
type?
kidding, son.
What if he's a Heisman type of quarterback? Maybe Cal is a really good football team, and they just haven't played anybody yet. So that's where I'm at. I'm the biggest Cal fan going forward, and I hope they just win out. That's where I'm at, because it's early enough in the season to still do that. And we were hurt. Darius Taylor was hurt. So I've completely flipped.
I do wonder how much of this could be changed if Darius Taylor was healthy. That being said, Cal was missing their best defender for the first half, but I mean, you at least got a half of them. We didn't even get a half of Darius Taylor. So, and then our backup went down. So it's hard. You can always play the what if game, but at this point, we took the L. We took the L on the chin, and it sucks to say that. Like you said, hopefully Cal goes on and wins the ACC, and it looks a little better. JKS, real deal quarterback. That being said, I still think Drake Lindsey, real deal quarterback. And guess who also thinks Drake Lindsey, real deal quarterback? That would be PFF, who has him graded as the 8th best quarterback in the FBS right now when it comes to PFF grades, actually in front of JKS, I would just like to say. So all these Cal fans that have been talking crap in our mentions, and they have, I know you don't go back and look at them, but I do.
Never once.
And those Cal fans are, one in particular is just really going to town on some of the JKS is so much better, and you've ripped you guys up. Look, JKS is great. I'm not going to tear the boy down.
Very fun
that dude is a baller.
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me of Michael Penix. Like, the dude looks nice.
I will be gambling on him throughout the season.
He will be on the ticket for Tristyn Spann-Ford.
He is good.
But with that, I don't think you can watch that game and really think to yourself, Drake Lindsey is bad by any means. Like, he definitely held it together. There were a couple hiccup moments, as there are for freshmen. There were a couple hiccup moments for JKS. He just had lucky timing. His batted down ball would have been a pick six, but it got batted down. So, like, there's different things that played out in the favor of both quarterbacks. I think they're both the future of kind of the quarterback play. Both of them read the field really well, get through progressions really well, have calm mentality and don't crumble under pressure, don't crumble under mistakes. And I think those are all the successful tools that you do not see in young players. So I think both of them have teed themselves up to have really good careers for the programs that they're playing for. So no ill will on either fronts. Like, congrats to Cal. Now, I think overall, the stat of the week for the Gophers, 13 missed tackles in this game. 13 missed tackles. Look, you're not going to win the game doing that. And then that doesn't even account for the scramble drills that we talked about with JKS when he's getting outside of the pocket and having all of this extra time. His receivers, his tight ends know what he's looking for. They're on game 3 of this now, and they're like, yo, I just got to stay alive. He'll find me. I just got to stay alive. Whereas the Gophers still need to develop that type of chemistry where all of a sudden, if Drake Lindsey gets pushed out of the pocket, how are you keeping yourself in the play? I think Jalen Smith has to get a lot better at that. I think Logan Loya, who is a senior transfer, has to get better at that. I think Javon Tracy has shown moments with it, and that's where he's gotten some of his bigger plays. And then Lemecki went crazy with it this week and looked really good on that. So I think it's something that the Gophers as a whole hopefully can watch the tape of this game and develop a little bit of their own as they move forward. But overall, yeah, man, those missed tackles, absolute killer for the Gophers this week.
Yeah, missed tackles was rough. There was no contain. Like, Buddy just... He was great under pressure, out of the pocket. He escaped the pocket and just made plays. It was simple as that.
When you could get real pressure on him, though, that's where the issues happened. So, I mean, hopefully that'll help other teams in their watching of the tape for the Cal Golden Bears. But overall, I want to know who was your Tristyn Spann-Ford's that dude's good this week. Even though it's a loss, there's some guys that have to be good. So who was that dude?
I racked my brain. When I was watching the game, I was trying to figure out who I was going to take. And we look sloppy, dog. We look sloppy.
Yeah.
We look sloppy.
Yep.
Man, it's got to be Lemecki. Lemecki looked great.
I figured that's probably the route we would go on this one.
I try to do like a fun one, but and not that it wasn't fun, but I mean we know Lemecki. We know he is capable of these things, and I do love that we went to him repeatedly. Once like Lindsey was like, okay, I gotta just feed the hot hand. Like,
yeah,
he played really, really well. He was reliable, making plays, no quitting him. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Actually, I'm going to give a shout out to one Cal Golden Bear. The cornerback, number 5, I think his last name was Masses.
Yeah.
That dude's good.
Yeah.
That dude is good. Straight up, no cap. That dude's good. That man was good at coverage. Now, my what the helly moment of the week. Too many options to choose from for this one. You had limited options. I had a whole list. It's like when Santa be dropping the list and it just keeps on rolling and rolling. That's how I felt this week. Now, most people would probably go with the muff punt, but I don't think that was the what the helly moment because I can see what Coy was trying to do there. Like, I could see he was trying to be the home run threat. I could see he was trying to make up for not being able to have that pick six with the batted down ball. I could see he wanted to take over the game. So it wasn't a what the hell. It was just very unfortunate. But what I will say was a what the helly moment is the first punt return that he fair caught at like the 3-yard line or the 4-yard line or whatever it was. That was a what the helly moment because it absolutely killed the Gophers in that drive. Now, Drake Lindsey stood in the pocket, confident, calm, cool, collected. You mentioned that on the live post-game show. But I believe that drive did not turn into points. I believe that drive was a very quick drive, and then all of a sudden that was the first drive that once we did punt, they had a shorter field, and I think it was the first drive that Cal responded and scored on. So that one moment trickled down into Cal's first score, which ended up hurting the Gophers in the long run. So I definitely think that was my what the helly of the moment, and that was the first time we saw Coy Parrish in this game where it was like, what is going on? Like, this is not the Coy we are used to. So I definitely think that was the first moment we could kind of tell something was up. I don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is. I don't think it'll be long term at all. But in this game, that was my what the helly moment. Anything that you learned? What are 2 or 3 things that you think need to change for the Gophers as they move forward if they want to get back on track?
I think it's just got to be the mental mistakes, like the little things, like we talked about, the not containing the quarterback. Like, that's a defensive end. That's your job. You know, it's textbook stuff that we're not doing. Like you talked about with Coy Parrish, the mental mistakes there. Like, we don't have to play hero ball. I know Coy is going to fix it because he just wants to play football. He's a football player. So he's trying to make plays all the time. But it's not always beneficial when we're, trying to be hero ball and then make those errors. It's not beneficial for the team. So I think it goes back to the mental things. Like, we know what we want to do. You just have to execute.
Yeah, I'm with you. One thing that I think immediately needs to change, though, we have to trust the quarterback more.
I have it written down.
We have to trust the quarterback more because, look, watching Cal put every ounce of faith into their guy and me believing and knowing, I'll go on to say, that we have a guy as well, we got to trust him. We got to let him go out there. And you know what? If he makes a mistake, if he makes a game-losing turnover, that's how you learn from it. This is our red shirt freshman. Look, yes, we want to get to the playoffs. Yes, we want to be competitive in the Big Ten. Yes, we want to get to a bowl game. Whatever your tier of looking what success is this season, I understand it. But if you want to win in the long term and ever get an opportunity to be in that top tier of the Big Ten, even for a year, kind of like we saw in 2019 where we got that 11-win season, if you want to get back to that, you have to let this dude learn now. So then hopefully as a redshirt sophomore, he is balling. As a redshirt junior, he is historic when it comes to the Gophers. And if he decides to come back as a redshirt senior, he might rewrite the entire record book. But to get there, you have to let him learn this year through the mistakes. Put your trust in him. You're allowing him to make checks at the line of scrimmage. You're allowing him to check out of plays, check into the right looks and things like that. If you can do all of that throughout the entirety of the game, you have to let him make the moments in the big ones on the 3rd and 7. Let him throw the ball. Let him try and get a look to get us a score. I just need to see more trust in the quarterback from this coaching staff in the moments that matter.
No, especially, we talked about like that 3rd and 7. Like it's just crazy, especially with, your star running back is hurt. Now, not to take away from that the backup running backs can't handle a spot like that, but you put the ball in your playmaker's hands, and in that situation, that's your quarterback. Let him go out and make a play. Like, the level of confidence and the momentum that can put into a drive is it's crazy. So I think that's what you need to look for. You have to go to your quarterback. Look to him to lead the ship. Like, you don't have to. We can't run up a little draw on 3rd and 8 and expect to get a first down. It's just crazy. I don't get it.
Well, and even think about Max Brosmer just a year ago when we allowed him to go get it in the USC game and he runs in the touchdown. When we allowed him to go get it in the UCLA game and he throws a touchdown on, I believe, what was a 4th and goal opportunity to Darius Taylor. When those moments happen, the team believes, okay, we can win any game. We got that guy. But if you don't let them have the moment to prove it, that's when it's like, okay, well, we got defense, we got to grind, we got to stop them. I don't know what the offense is going to do, but you got to let him prove it. And if he doesn't prove it right now, that's okay. He's a redshirt freshman, and hopefully him learning from it in this game will allow him to prove it in the next game.
Yeah, every time the run on 3rd and long, it feels like it's an emotional punt. It feels like we're punting already. I'm like, why not just punt now? Just punt on 3rd. It's fine. Like, I would much rather do that. Like, are you trying to get our punter 5 yards of better field position? It's crazy. It's years of that. It's years of that. We have to trust the quarterback. Throw the ball.
Yeah, no, and I was watching the NFL games this weekend, and I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Eagles would run it on like 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 16. But I'm like, yo, they got Saquon Barkley. Like, you can't even compare the two things. Like, they got the best offensive line in all of football. I don't care if you're looking at college, NFL, galactic football, whatever you're doing, the Eagles have the best offensive line, and then they have the best running back on the planet Earth. So if they want to run it on 3rd and 12 and think they can get it, I'm not going to blame them. But when you're talking about the Golden Gophers, who have had ups and downs in the run game, whose line has been questionable in this learning, like, you got to, come on, man. You got to make a difference.
Oh, yeah. Don't give me, I don't know anything. I am so dumb. But you can feel it when you're watching the game. When you can feel it's a situation like we haven't been running the ball down these guys' throats. Like, we haven't been killing them in the run game. So why are we doing this right now when it just doesn't make sense to me? I don't know if you're trying to catch them off guard, like thinking they have to pass.
No, I'll tell you exactly why he did it. I'll tell you exactly why he did it. He did it in that moment because he was scared. He had a young quarterback. He didn't want the young quarterback to take a sack or turn it over because it would put him out of field goal range. He wanted to be safe, take the field goal, get the points on the board, tie the game, and then his field goal kicker, who he has not really seen kick field goals this season because we just haven't had to in the first games. They didn't really need to put up field goals. And in this game, you didn't have much trust in the kicker because he hasn't done much. And he missed an easy field goal. And it came back to bite you. So rather than playing it safe and trying to not trust in your quarterback and make sure he doesn't make an accidental mistake, let him take a swing. Maybe you score a touchdown. Maybe you take the lead. All of a sudden, it's a different ball game. Like, I just need it to stop, bro. I need it to stop.
Man, the 3rd and long is awful. I hate it.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm with you. So those were just some of the two things that need to change. I think overall things I learned, the O-line can get some good push. They can create some run lanes. It's not always there, but I think what we also learned is that Fame Ijeboy can create. That dude kept finding extra push. I think he was tackled 2 yards behind the line, and he's getting 5-yard gains. I'm like, yo, this dude can do it. We know Darius Taylor can do it. I think Fame Ijeboy needs to be the RB2 if I'm the one running things. I think Cam Davis showed some things as well. He can be scrappy, but I really like the upside of Ijeboy. I think if Darius Taylor does go to the league, that's the future of your room is Fame right there. So I would love to see him get some more tick and some opportunities. But did we learn anything about the defense in this game? Is there any like red alert? You think maybe there's some flukiness? You think it was just a bad game? The energy was low across the board, or how are you feeling about this defense overall?
I think we maybe overestimated how well the Gophers travel, or this team travels. It just felt like it was low energy. I felt like it was low energy all night. There wasn't really any huge like momentum swings from the defense. So I want to chalk it up to a bad night. I want to chalk it up to the travel, late game, West Coast. I want to chalk it up basically to all the things that I said were going to be our benefit going into this game. But that's just how my brain works. So I don't know if I don't want to overreact. I think this is a big don't overreact week because we're going to come out looking stronger against Rutgers. And I think it's going to look a lot more even-keeled. It's not going to look so doom and gloom.
I tend to agree with you there. The only thing that I am a little bit worried about is you talked about travel. We didn't travel well. Our next few games that we travel are pretty brutal. Our next game that we travel is to Columbus, Ohio, to Ohio State.
Yeah, not
it's going to be a very tough
same
travel.
Time zone, same climate. We're not a West Coast team.
It's not the same. Same climate, different environment. That is going to be insane compared to Cal. The next game that you travel after that, Kinnick Stadium, where you're going to be playing the Iowa Hawkeyes, and you know that they, in that rivalry, is just different.
They're going to get up.
Next game you travel after that, Eugene, Oregon, over to the Oregon. So, like, our travel schedule is absolutely brutal. The final one is Wrigley Field, which the Gophers play pretty good well in baseball fields. Not too worried about Northwestern as a whole. But all of those games before that, it's like, damn, are we going to lose all our away games? Like, what's going on here?
It is tough. 10-2 is looking a lot trickier than what I had previously assumed. But I did reserve the right to change that throughout the season. So
he ain't wrong.
10-2 until it's not.
Hey. Well, I think the Gophers can respond against Rutgers. It's going to be tough. Rutgers has been balling. Look, that's actually going to transition us here into our listener questions. So we have 3 listener questions. And also, if you have listener questions ever, feel free to drop them in the comments on our YouTube shows. Feel free to shoot us a message on I almost said LinkedIn, on Twitter, and you can do that at the Gopher Broke Pod, or you can do that at either one of our handles as well, and we'll keep track of them for future mailbags and things like that so we can get back to them. But we have 3 listener questions. The first one I'm actually going to pick is one that transitions to what we just said about Rutgers, and that is, are you worried about Ethan Kaliakmanis coming back to Minnesota? Revenge game again. He had a really good game last year. Do you think that he could be out for blood, and do you think that losing to Rutgers could derail the whole season?
I'm going to answer this question as honestly as possible. After the Cal game, absolutely I'm worried about a revenge game. I'm worried about a revenge game, and yes, this will derail the season. If we lose to Rutgers, that changes the whole vibes of everything. Because now you're looking at, we have Oregon on the schedule, we have Ohio State on the schedule. That's 2 more losses. We're looking at almost guaranteed 4 losses. And Iowa is still up in the air. Like, I mean, I know we could beat Iowa just based off the rivalry alone, but then we're looking at 5 losses. It changes.
Nebraska's balling right now.
It changes the dynamic of the season greatly. If we don't come out, we want to feel confident after Rutgers going into the season. So I am concerned. And Ethan looks good. He has been playing very well. And yeah, the revenge factor is tough.
Look, I've always been a fan of Ethan when he was here and as he left. I know people have called me a traitor on Twitter because I still supported Ethan.
Are you?
Like, bro,
a traitor on Twitter.
Get over yourself. Yeah. No, I'm like, bro, get over yourself. We're over here supporting former players. It's funny, though, because then those same players same fans are the ones who are like, man, I love Bucky Irving. He was a Gopher. Yeah. And it's like, oh, so he's not a traitor? He's not a traitor, but we're doing that up. Like, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? Or the people that claim Beanie Bishop, who's now playing in the NFL, it's like, he left and went to West Virginia, right? Like, so
it's fine.
I guess you just get to pick and choose when you're a traitor and when you get to support a former Gopher.
Welcome to college football fandom.
Yes, there it is. But regardless, I got love for Ethan Kalagmanis. I hope that he has his worst game of the season versus the Gophers, and he continues to ball after that. But overall, I am a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you. Ethan is a top 3 graded quarterback in the FBS right now, according to PFF. Drake Lindsey is the 8th, as I mentioned, but Ethan has been playing on a whole nother level, and usually Ethan has struggled with completion percentage and things like that. Even last year when he had a good year with the Rutgers, it was still at a lower completion percentage. He worked with a new quarterback coach this offseason. They worked on some of his mechanics and where he is delivering the ball from, and I think that has really clicked and provided some strength for him. You look at his numbers right now, he has 820 pass yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on 72% completion. Like, dude, Ethan has stepped it up, and if that continues, yes, that's going to worry me, especially coming out of this Cal game where we just watched a quarterback pick us apart left and right. Now, I'm hoping that the defense, with this extra week of time, having familiarity with Kirk Shiraka and his offense and what he wants to do, having played Rutgers and this quarterback in this system last year, I'm hoping that they will have more of a response than maybe what they could have prepared for with JKS. But I would be lying to you. I'd be flat out bold-faced lying to you if I didn't tell you that, yes, I'm a little bit worried, especially with how well he has been playing and how well he has responded to this season. So, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a big question because I think this could be an unusual Big Ten game. I think this could be a high-scoring Big Ten game, and we're not used to those type of games here in the Big Ten. But Rutgers' defense hasn't been amazing by chance. And so I think if Rutgers' defense isn't stopping anything and Gophers' defense plays like we did against Cal, then it could be a very high-scoring game. Or, right. Or we could get some response. If we get some response from the defense and Zaquan comes out and has a good game, Nestor comes out and has a good game, Coy comes out and is like, look, erase that stuff. MIB clicking, silver clicky thing flashed in your face. You forgetting everything. Like, this is Coy Parrots. If they come out and respond like that, then I'm like, let's go. This is how you respond. This is how you answer. This is how you build the confidence into trying to pull an upset versus Ohio State. But you have to respond versus Rutgers. Otherwise, I agree. The season could go off the rails. If you lose to Rutgers, you're 2-2. Then you go to Ohio State. That's probably 2-3. You come back home to a homecoming versus a Purdue team that's hungry. I think you can beat them, but that's still only 3-3. Then you've got the gauntlet of Nebraska, Iowa, and then Oregon in 3 of your next 4 games. Like, that starts to get really worrisome. So you have to pull this one now. So you have your 3 wins. Then hopefully if you hit Purdue, that's 4 wins. Now you're looking for 2 more wins for the rest of the season to at least get bowl eligible. But hopefully the final 2 are those. So that can give you 6. And then as long as you respond across Nebraska, Iowa, and Michigan State, and you pull 1 to 2 of those out, you're talking about an 8-win season again. So this Rutgers game and the Purdue game, I think both hold so much weight because you have to count them as wins. If you count them as losses, all of a sudden you're worrying about becoming bowl contenders. If you win both of those games, you're talking about, okay, if we can carry momentum, we can get to 8, maybe 9 wins.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Yeah, that is, I don't like the revenge game factor. We don't even really have a reverse revenge game. We have nothing against Aiken. It's tough.
I don't know. I feel like the staff could maybe have a little bit against Ethan because he beat them last year and because it's at home.
I was thinking we don't even have like the OC that he had when he was here.
Well, we do and we don't. So the first OC he had is with him at Rutgers, but the second OC he had that basically was like, yeah, no, it's not going to work here, is the one we have now.
Oh,
so
okay.
So maybe there's a little bit of I want to prove that we got our QB in Drake Lindsey and he can run this system that you should have been able to run sort of thing. I mean, hopefully there's not that type of resentment and bitterness from an old man. I shouldn't say old man. I don't think Greg Harbaugh is actually old. So apologies.
He's really nice, actually. He's a nice dude. He's a really nice guy.
I agree 100%. 100%. I don't think he would have resentment like that. But I think there will be a little bit of a revenge game narrative for Minnesota after losing last year and being at home. You can't let Ethan come back into Huntington Bank Stadium
at all
and take a double away. You can't let that happen.
No, you said it perfectly. I want Ethan to have the worst game of his career this week and then just go on a little Heisman run after that. Like,
yeah. All love except for this next week.
Yes.
All right, we'll move to our next fan question. All right, do you want to go continue quarterback route or do you want to go to coach route? Which one do you want?
Go quarterback route.
We're going to do both.
Go quarterback route for now.
All right, so the next question we will go to then is Drake Lindsey an NFL quarterback? Now, I have my thoughts here. I have a lot of things to say right here, but I'm going to let you take it off first.
I think judging whether a player is an NFL quarterback off of 3 games is absolutely insane. It's impossible. It's literally not possible. So if you give me off of the intangibles, his size, his arm strength, his intelligence level from what we've seen so far, sure, why not? I don't see why not, but off of 3 games is crazy. I mean, we saw 2 games of Arch Manning last year, and he was a Heisman favorite, and now look at him. So this is a wild question to ask, but sure.
Dog, I feel you 1,000%. You literally took the words out of my mouth. I was like, the first thing I put in my notes is, it is way too early to be thinking about this. Like, slow your roll, screeching, halt, like, slow down. I like Drake Lindsey a lot. I am very excited by his longevity, the process, him wanting to be here, what he's shown so far, and all of that. But, like, breathe. Deep breath. Like, let's practice. Inhale on 3 and exhale on 3. Like, we need some breathing and some time here. I love Drake Lindsey's processing. I love his maturity. I love his way to stay calm in the tough moments. We've talked about that time and time again here already this early in the season. And I think he shows the ability to make checks at the line of scrimmage as a redshirt freshman, which is rare. You don't see that too often. Now, if you can get 3 years of growth on that, what we're seeing in the redshirt freshman year, and you get 3 more years of growth on top of that, yes, I think the sky is the limit. Like, a whole lot could happen, and we could have a historic quarterback here with the Golden Gophers. But I would not set those expectations this early. Let's take it year by year. Let's see how the rest of the season goes. Hopefully, I mean, as long as he stays healthy, he's probably locked in as your starter again next year, no questions asked. But, like, woosah.
I mean, that's wild, but 3 games deep.
Yes, that was crazy. All right, the final listener question we have, and this was a big one over on Twitter. And I'm looking forward to your thoughts on it. I actually wrote down a lot of thoughts, and I don't know if the person who asked this question is going to like me fully. I don't think they're going to dislike my answer, but I don't think they're going to love my answer either. They want us to talk about why PJ Fleck will not be leaving for UCLA or any current available head coaching job. And please name and list in order of the jobs that he'd actually take if he decided to leave. Now, this was deep. I didn't look at what jobs are open. I just started thinking about jobs in general. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that there could be any chance that PJ Fleck would leave? And if so, are there any jobs out there you think that what are the jobs that we can walk through that step by step? Let's just first off, do you think there's any chance that PJ Fleck could leave at the end of the season?
I just don't see it. I don't know. College coaches are a different breed of people. They are borderline inhuman. They are weirdos. But inhuman was probably the wrong word, but they are different. You got to be a different type of dude.
They're sickos.
They are sickos.
They're sickos.
I just don't see it. I think PJ has built a lot here, and it would take a lot of. It would have to be to the point where the fan base was almost pushing him out in one of those situations, like, we don't want you here anymore, for him to even assume that. I would think, like, I don't see that from the fan base, like, you're not giving us enough, like, why haven't we won a national championship yet? Like, there's not as much pressure here as there is at a spot like, LSU, and like LSU, Brian Kelly's getting heated in pressers after a win. So, it's a different environment here that, I mean, he's already one of the most successful coaches that the program has seen. What would make you want to go? With that being said, UCLA, if you want to move to California, living in California wouldn't be too hard. I can't imagine it's that hard to recruit kids to California to come live there. I can't imagine their boosters are being made that they aren't paying a lot either. So it's tough. It's a tough question, but I think there's a lot of things that PJ teaches when it comes to integrity and stuff like that would keep him here, to where it would be a situation where, you know, the fan base is, you know, we're sick of this. We don't want to win 8 games a year. We don't want to win bowl games anymore. We want championships or something like that. I think that's what it would take for him to even consider it. So yeah, that's kind of my long way around saying I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I tend to agree with you that I don't think he's going anywhere. I think that he will be here. I think he's got a lot of leeway as far as like what he gets to do with his culture building, what he can ask for here and things like that. I think he does have a lot of leeway. The first thing I found myself thinking about when it came to this was I asked myself, what schools would PJ even consider leaving for? And in my opinion, I don't think he would leave for any schools outside of the big Power 2 conferences, whether it be the Big Ten or the SEC. People might say Notre Dame, and to that, I don't think he would go to Notre Dame because Notre Dame is its own brand, its own culture, and like it's like a freak following. Like if you go and you try to bring your way and your culture and row the boat to Notre Dame, that's not going to mesh. Those two things are not going to go together. So that's out of here.
That's not an open job. That Marcus.
No. It's Marcus Freeman's good. That's not open. I'm just thinking schools in general. I think like I was like of the non-Power 2 schools, what schools could it, and I was like Notre Dame, no, that won't work. I was like FSU, Clemson, and Miami are the only schools in the ACC that you would maybe want to leave for. And I don't think Miami or Clemson is coming open anytime soon. FSU with their bounce back right now is probably also not coming back in or not coming open anytime soon. Miami, I feel like PJ Fleck in Miami, that culture, the swagger of Miami just doesn't mesh.
He would hate it. He would hate that.
Clemson, I feel like Dabo's not going anywhere, so I didn't even give it that. And then, like I said, I think for Florida State, it could be interesting, but I don't think that job's coming open.
What about?
Then I went to the Big 12. Big 12, I was like, I don't think any schools he's looking at besides one. I think one school could have a conversation. The school is Texas Tech because their NIL is insane right now. They can buy like whoever they want if they get an opportunity. So if he could build his culture plus that NIL, maybe you consider it, but I still don't see it happening. Big 12 won't have as much money and opportunity as a conference. So then you're stuck to the Big Ten and the SEC. Before I go there, what were you saying? What about who?
I was just talking about Alabama. They don't. What's his name? Don't win.
So we're going to the SEC right now. Okay. SEC is what I said. Now look, I think there's a number of schools that like people would want to go coach at. It's SEC. It gets tons of dollars. It gets tons of views and all of that. But on the same time of that, I think Coach Fleck loves the longevity. I think he always talks about this is a profession where you're hired to be fired, but I think he knows that he is less likely to get fired here in Minnesota than he would be at any SEC school because SEC, your job security is very hit or miss. We're talking about Brett Bielema, who is now making Illinois look amazing. He had a down year at Illinois. In that down year, he had a mediocre year, a down year, and like a couple good years, and he had a down year between the good years. Look, if you had that mediocre year and then that down year, you're gone. Like, the SEC don't play on that front. Like, we look at Brett Bielema with Arkansas, he had 7 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, 4 wins. See ya! Like, you're out of here. So it's like, I don't think he would put himself in that type of position for a Kentucky or for a Mississippi State. Those are the ones that maybe would come open. Bama, I don't know if you can go to Bama as a PJ Fleck, knowing, look, here's what we expect with Saban. Now we have Kalen DeBoer, who is one of the most winningest coaches in college football history, and he's slightly struggling. And they're like, get this MFer out of here. Like, we're done with it.
He can't even leave his house if they don't beat somebody by 50. His wife got to go next door to go grocery shopping. So you got to go down
Right,
the street.
and now you're talking about PJ Fleck, who my one huge gripe against him is like get more aggressive. Look, that ain't happening down in Bama. They ain't playing that down in Bama. So, nah, that ain't happening. So SEC, I think that's off the table. So you're only looking at the Big Ten. I think USC, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon. I think he would take any of those jobs. I don't know if any of those jobs would ever offer him. So those are all off the table. So outside of that, go ahead.
If PJ, what do you think? I was just going to add on to the question. What do you think it would take? How many down years would it take for PJ to be on the hot seat? To be like, okay, we got to make a change. Because Minnesota has gone many years without a football program, essentially. Like, we went a long time with just
it's like what we're experiencing with basketball. So how long did it take for Ben Johnson to go? He got the 22 season, the 23 season, the 24 season. I think he had 3 or 4. I think he had 4 years. I think he had the 21 season. That was before. Was his first year with Jamison Battle? I think his first year was with Jamison Battle. Then he had another year with Jamison. Then he had last year with Dawson. He had 2 more years with Dawson. 3 years with Dawson. 1 year with just Jamison. He had 4 years. Ben Johnson had 4 years. I think PJ Fleck would have to have 4 down years in order for the AD to actually turn around and be like, yeah, sorry, dude, it's time to go.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's a pretty long leash compared to when we're talking about an SEC school.
I don't think he's getting let go anytime soon. Now, I found myself all the way back to the question at hand with UCLA. And I think UCLA is the one weird case where I could see it going either way. Now, hear me out when I say this is why. UCLA is a school that now people argue, did you see their last game? They literally had like 5 fans in the stands.
Yes.
Nobody cares about UCLA football right now. They're horrible.
The fans, they play at the Rose Bowl.
They play at the Rose Bowl and nobody goes. Now, that being said, LA, hard market to compete in. You got the Lakers, you got other sports teams, but then on top of that, you just have the LA life. Like, you could go anywhere and have a good time any given weekend in LA. So if the football team ain't doing good, I ain't going. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
So, but that being said, flip side of that, if you revitalize the Rose Bowl and make people want to show up,
it's huge.
You're a legend. You don't even got to win a championship. You don't even got to win the conference. All you got to do is bring the life back to the Rose Bowl and make UCLA a brand again, and people are talking about you like a hero. So that could be seen as a bonus. I could see that. On top of that, you already mentioned living in California is not a negative. It is not something hard to convince people to want to do. No snow, you can recruit all year and know you're going to look good. Whereas you come recruit here in the winter, it can be tough.
California has a decent, very decent high school. Like, high school football in California is very popular. You keep a lot of kids in state.
Yep. No. So that recruiting is real nice with that California pipeline. And another thing that people probably haven't thought of is the AD will let you spend money out there at UCLA when it comes to your assistant coaches. You're talking about they just brought in Eric Bieniemy 2 years ago and fired him after 1 year. Like, they have money and they're willing to spend it. They'll throw it around. Like,
oh yeah, they're still paying.
They'll throw it around. So like, he'd be able to retain his coaches probably a little bit better than he has been able to here at Minnesota, which could be a bargaining chip. So those are all the pros that I can think of. And also, if the interest was real in him last time when they hired Deshaun Foster, it was rumored PJ Fleck was up in their considerations. If that note is true, that gives PJ a lot of power and bargaining in this run if they wanted him again, because they could be like, look, you passed on me last time and look what happened. You got rid of dude in 2 years. I'm a culture guy. I build the culture, and like, we'll get this thing right. We'll get them stands packed. You see what I did in Minnesota. He has a walking billboard, a walking advertisement with Minnesota and what he did here. So I can see all of those as the pros to going there. Now, the cons, like I said, no fans are showing up. A lot of competing factors that would be very difficult to bring the fans back. The NIL situation, I'm not exactly sure where it is. It could be good. They did bring in Nikolai Imaliava, but at the same time, they haven't brought in like anybody else. So how good is the NIL? Is it similar to what we have in there?
The team's not good. Like, you know, it's right. Like, I think if you had, I don't know. You would have thought when
Yeah,
you brought
no,
Nico,
you'd
you'd be
be
able to bring
kidding.
somebody else. Yeah.
Right. So I think that their NIL situation might be similar or maybe even slightly worse than where the Gophers are right now. And so that's a lot of competing factors in trying to rebuild when you have a team that you've got a lot of young inserted talent here ready to go and compete.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I can see both sides, and I don't think the initial person sending the question probably wanted to hear that type of response. But here's what I'll say, regardless of if he stays or if he goes. Again, I think he will stay. I think it would take a lot for him to go. I think it would take a big pay increase. I think it would take a promise of paying his staff members. I think it would be because of the California living, the California recruiting and whatnot. So there is a case. I'm not sure that he would actually do it. But the one thing I will stress to all of the Gopher fans that are talking about I'm sick of PJ or like, you know, he's a snake oil salesman or I don't like the way he does things or whatever. There are Gophers fans that do that every year. I see it in the mentions. I am not one of those folks. I would love for him to play more aggressively, but at the same time, like, I recognize he has done a ton of great for this program. Not even a ton of good, a ton of great for this program. But if PJ did leave the Minnesota Gophers program, I think that would be massive damage for this Minnesota program. This team is built on culture. It has been able to retain its players from the transfer portal and keep your studs away like Daniel Jackson, Darius Taylor, Coy Parrish. You've been able to keep those guys here because of the culture. The recruiting classes that you've brought in have bought in and loved and committed because of the culture and the relationships with the staff. They did not choose Minnesota because of its history.
Mm-hmm.
They did not choose Minnesota because of its winning nature. They chose it because of the culture, because of the potential, because of the ways to build, because of the brotherhood. That's why they chose it. So if you lose the coach that was at the figurehead of that and that establishing culture and everything like that, I would expect a ton of players to hit the portal. You're talking about your Coy Parrish, your Darius Taylor, your Drake Lindsey, your Javon Tracy, your Maverick Baranowski, your Zaquan Bryan, your Kerry Brown, your John Nestor, your Matthew Kingsbury. All those players can be back next year. If you lose Coach Fleck, those guys that I just named and probably more aren't coming back. I don't think so. I think they're either following him to wherever he goes or they're going to those other offers that they got, like a Ohio State, like a Florida State or something like that. They're not sticking around to see who Minnesota hires in his void. So I think those who keep saying, oh, I'm sick of PJ Fleck, blah, 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 I think the grass would not be greener for you on the other side, is what I'm trying to say here. And then you talk about recruits like Roman Voss, who picked U of M over Bama. Like, those guys are going to be like, yo, Bama, you want to bring me back? Like, I'm done with this. Like, it ain't happening. So if PJ were to leave this program, I truly believe it would be stripped down to the studs. And to be honest, I am not sure how quickly Minnesota could bounce back from something like that.
We wouldn't. That would be the worst case scenario. I will say, like, the people who are that way about PJ, I've said it before. Because, like, I remember when Brev first started going there, and I'm like, is he just all the time? Like, why is he so hyper and stuff? And Brev has told me, and he's like, say what you will about PJ Fleck, that is the most genuine dude ever. The way he behaves to the media, the way he behaves at the open practices, that is how he is 100% of the time. He is a very genuine human being, and that's just how they are. Every time I see him, he remembers my name, remembers my kids' names. His wife has messaged my wife when we were kind of going through some stuff in our personal lives, and they are very genuine people. So I will always bang that drum for the people who are like, oh, PJ Snake Oil, so he's a car salesman. He comes off that way, but the genuineness, the energy level that he is giving you is because that's just how he is. Like, he is that passionate about everything he does. And I think it goes to what the success the program has had since he's got here. He's like, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it to the fullest. I'm going to do it as hard as possible, or I'm going to fail trying. Like, that's just how he is. So I will always bang that drum.
I agree with you 100%. I think the snake oil salesman or the used car salesman, that comes from his, I don't know, hyperness that you had mentioned in the pressers or things like that. But like you've said, like, even the engagements that I've seen with him off of cameras are off and things like that, he's still the same dude. Like, that is who he is. But people think that's fake and it's all manufactured for the kids and for this and for trying to get people to want to be a part of it. And it isn't. It's him. It is him through and through. So I agree with you 1,000% there. I think Gophers fans need to appreciate it a little bit more. Again, that doesn't mean you can't want some changes. No. It doesn't mean you can't want some more aggressiveness. It doesn't mean you can't want some playing to win a little bit more. We can all like strive for that. But overall, I agree. I think he is real, and I think losing him would do a lot of damage to the Gophers program moving forward. Now, those are all of the listener questions that we had. The last thing that I wanted to fly through really quick and do with you is a better than, worse than, or equal. I'm going to name a Big Ten school, and I want you to say if the Gophers are better than them, they're worse than them, or they're equal to them. Now that we are through 3 games, we kind of know a little bit about the squads. Let's get after it.
The obvious ones you can... mad. This is going to make so many teams mad.
I want it legit, though. I don't want you over here saying they're better than Ohio State. I don't want you saying they're better than Oregon when they're not right now. Hopefully they can get there someday, but that's not the truth. So give me 100% legit. First one that we're going to go to is Michigan.
We're not better than Michigan right now.
All right, so we're going with worse than for Michigan. Penn State.
Worse. That's even though
all right.
Penn State refuses to cover the spread. They will not cover the spread. They'll do everything they can to not cover the spread. So when it comes to covering the spread, Gophers are better.
All right. UCLA.
We are better.
Northwestern.
We are better than them.
Indiana.
Oh. We're not better than them.
All right. Illinois.
We're not better than them.
Ohio State.
Come on now. Don't make me say it. I feel like you're just going to clip me saying we're not better than them. We're not better than them. We're not better than them.
No. We're good. We're good. All right. But now is where it's going to start to get interesting. Okay. So these are the ones that I'm curious on your thoughts. Michigan State.
I think we, in 3 weeks in, are just as good. Wait, can I do same? Is same an option?
The equal to. Equal to is an option.
Give me an equal to.
Okay. Equal to Michigan State. Maryland.
I think we're better than Maryland. They haven't played anybody yet, have they? I don't think they're 3-0, but I don't think they've played anybody.
I can't remember who they played off the cuff.
I can't remember either.
Purdue.
We're better than Purdue.
Rutgers.
Equal to.
Nebraska.
Equal to.
USC.
USC puts up a lot of points, but their defense is still a USC defense. But I don't think we're better than them yet. We're worse than them.
All right. I think the only other school left is Washington. There's one other. There's two others. You said we're better than Washington?
I think so. I haven't watched Washington yet this year.
I would go equal to, and it might be worse than. I'm not going to lie to you. Washington is nice. Their quarterback is real nice. Their running back is insane. And then they got a decent defense.
See, I haven't watched them this year. Last year, we were better than them.
Last year, I would agree. We were better than them. This year, I don't know. I'd either say equal to, or we might be worse than them as of right now.
We don't got them on the schedule. That's it.
All right, the last two. Wisconsin.
Oh, I do think we're better than Wisconsin.
I do too. The final one, the one that I think is tough, Iowa.
We're not better. Their defense is good.
I'm gonna put equal. Put equal for right now. I think it's gonna play out. I think their offense isn't great.
No, their offense is good, but their defense is still their defense. That's the thing. They'll beat you, and you won't score a point. They'll score 3 points and still beat you because their defense is so good.
I think I'm more optimistic about that Iowa game this year, and I think that will surprise you. We'll get there as that time comes, but we got to get Rutgers first. That is the next game. But thank y'all for listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We appreciate you. Hit subscribe over on YouTube. Again, we go live after every game as well. So follow us on YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff at the Gopher Broke podcast, and we will see you next time. Until then, we're the most Scotty Margo Gophers as always, and please don't forget to hit subscribe.